You have to learn the technology, period. I don't care what industry you're in. You have to sit down and begin to master it.
In terms of the tech world, I am learning as I go.
No, don't even
we go on and on and on.
You can.
All right. Welcome to the Tech Skit Podcast, powered by DSDT. I'm Josh, virtual today.
And I'm Carlos, and I am not virtual today.
All right, you are hanging out at the school, brother. Yes. Look, man, I just bought a new place. I'm working, hanging with you, trying to get a home situated. Virtual today.
No, notice part in there where he said he just bought a home. And you know what? That's kind of ironic because I heard as I was on my way to Tim Hortons. Every morning I go to Tim Hortons, right, Josh? Mm-hmm. The wife always loves to have a Tim Horton coffee every morning. It doesn't matter where we are. But anyhow, so I'm on my way to Tim Hortons and I'm listening to NPR, as I always do. NPR is one of my favorite radio stations, just in case you like to know. But anyhow, I hear that Detroit's housing market is perhaps the number one in the nation as far as the value. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that this morning?
I did. We talked.
I said, "What?"
Yes.
So
I mean,
go ahead.
Value is going up. The value is going up. I mean, property is becoming a depleted asset.
Okay.
There are fewer and fewer homes available. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the value is going up. I mean, by the grace of God, where I live, paid a nice penny, but at the same time, I'm also walking into equity. Like it appraised for more than what I took out, my loan for. Mm-hmm. So knowing that you're walking into equity is a beautiful thing. Because again, there are fewer and fewer homes available. Mm-hmm. Interest rates continue to go high. Are they the highest we've seen? No, but they're likely to go up even more. A lot of factors.
Okay.
That play into that conclusion.
But as a home buyer, see, we got ours like coming up on 3 years, I think, here next month. So you just getting yours, and you see that the home market in Detroit is kind of higher throughout the 6%, actually higher than it is in the rest of the nation. Mm-hmm. I hear the saying that it has the equity as you walked into it and everything. But does that kind of make you feel like, oh, I spent probably too much money for my property now?
Well, look, no one is getting the interest rate at 2.7%.
Okay. Is that what you got?
No. That's what I mean.
I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I need to talk to your people over at the Treasury.
Yeah.
If that's something you're getting it for.
But I don't feel slightly overpaying.
Okay.
Slightly overpaying. But the fact I'm walking into equity gave me a bigger peace of mind. Pretty much the home I just moved into, aside from a fresh paint job, it was pretty much move-in ready.
Get out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Move-in ready, walking into equity. Yes, there's a higher interest rate, but you factor the other variables. I said, okay. Great neighborhood. You have everything you need. The value only go up. There's more land around here where properties are going to be built. They're starting at a particular price. That's only going to increase your property value as well.
So is this your first home?
My first home purchase.
Oh, everybody give it to him. Give it to him, everybody. We have us another homeowner here.
Yes.
On the Tech School Podcast.
And everyone was telling me, like, look, you were even telling me, hey, when you walk in, you're going to feel good. Mm-hmm. Once it's done and over with and you're in, you're going to feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, you feel good, except for every 30 days when that mortgage note comes.
Hey, that's why you have...
just pay this.
That's why you have Netflix. That's why you have Prime Video. That's why you have a nice couch to sit on.
Well, yeah, you better be sitting on that couch a lot. Enjoy that no per month. I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling. All right.
Yeah.
So tell us what's happening in our Let's Talk segment today.
Okay. So what do we have going on here? All right. This has been somewhat big news this week. This strange concept of sharing your contact from one iPhone to the next. And it happened to me this morning. Literally. I get up at 1:30, 2 o'clock every morning to go work at the station, work over at Fox 2, anchor the morning news, and I'm getting my stuff together. I'm walking out the door, and just accidentally, my phone's bumped heads.
Okay.
It almost did it just now. Like where like it says share your contact information, share or receive only. So at first, when I walked out the door this morning, I just ignored it.
Okay.
Then when I'm on set, it happened again. I just said receive only. Because I just don't want to be out and about somewhere and then you get my name drop, my contact information. It's a real thing. Is it as cautious? Is it as big of a problem as we originally thought? No. But it happened.
So, first of all, I gotta ask, because inquiring minds want to know, why do you have two phones?
Personal, work.
That's
They
so
should phone, my phone.
So work gives you a phone?
Yes.
Okay. I guess you're right up there with the elite, the doctors, who have to have a work phone or a beeper because they still carry beepers.
Work email. Look, man, don't mix business and pleasure.
Okay. All right. I just say I got like
if they're going to give you a work phone, use it and use it for business only.
Yeah, but that's so outdated. So and the reason I say it is because I know here at DSDT, I have roughly 50 or 55 different cell phones on our plan. And it's all in an app. So we use Ring Central, plug to Ring Central, right? And so everyone has the Ring Central app. I pay for their usage per month and they download it to their devices. They don't have to have two phones. As long as they have that app, they have access to everything DSDT's organization. And when they're done, I just simply go in and I disable the app itself. They could save a lot by simply having that per month as opposed to giving you guys another device. And look, I bet that device is probably what, a 7, iPhone 7?
Yes, this is. I did get the iPhone 15 on Black Friday. I upgraded, Carlos.
Okay, yeah. No wonder you're stepping into the realm of technology. Now, I can say I'm in the process of getting the studio here together. And I was really taken aback because I just brought in these Mac Minis, the new latest and greatest, right? And I was at awe at how easy it was to transfer data from one to the other. It's just simply you log in, you go into the migration assistant, you find the other one that's on the network, and it sends everything to it. Probably the process is about 20 minutes or so. And it's just that fluidity within the processes alone to me, and I'm a tech guy. I love to see anything akin to it, but to see how these devices are so compatible nowadays, and you don't have to go down to your local vendor and say, can you guys transfer over these contacts for me, or I lost all of my information. It's so simple now, and I love that about it.
It was a beautiful thing. The only thing I had to do was re-sign into my apps, but it all transferred over. And as you just alluded to, that used to be a pain when you had a new phone and you had to download everything. And it's like, it's why I would go so many years without upgrading my phone.
Yeah.
I
think you just went without changing that phone over because you were saving up for that house. I'm just saying.
Oh, that too. Absolutely.
All right. So what else is happening in the news?
What else do we have? Okay, so FUBO, FUBO. How
FUBO.
FUBO. Okay, they're launching an AI powered station or AI powered stations, 10 of them on
Okay.
your TV. And I'm learning more about this as I go. But what intrigued me about it is AI in the music world.
Mm-hmm.
And is this just another sign of that factor growing, that
Mm-hmm.
element growing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what grabbed me.
yeah, I believe so because I love the fact that we're finding new and kind of uh different ways of using these AI platforms.
Mhm.
I was actually on one last night and I meant to bring it and show you if you were here today. It's about AI prompt. So the young guy is building all these prompts inside of Chat GPT, and he's built a store where he's selling these prompts, and he's also still selling the GPTs that he creates, and they're anywhere from like $20 to $50. And I just thought that that was such a creative way to be able to again find a revenue stream for you that wasn't there a year ago.
And
It's
he's
funny.
selling it within Chat GPT.
So it's being sold within no, it's not. He has his own website that he's selling it
Okay,
on. And
got it.
I'm gonna try to bring it up for you.
All right.
But it just goes to show you here we are literally about a year ago tomorrow, Chat GPT was dropped. It was introduced to the world.
A
You know,
year ago
a
tomorrow?
year ago, November 30th of last year. And so, it literally over the
Wow.
past year has caught a blaze. And you have had so many people that have been intrigued by it, that have, found other ways and other means in order to find sustainability for themselves. And so I can only imagine what the next year is going to bring, especially, and I'm sure that AI Amber will get into it a little bit later, but
Mhm.
especially since we have Sam Altman back at the helm of Open AI, you know.
Wow. 1 year
Oh
tomorrow,
yeah. You say
November 30th.
you
Okay.
say it like you didn't like you didn't know that date or something.
I didn't. I did, but I mean, well, yes. Clearly, we all know Chat GPT is new, at least in the public eye.
Right.
And within 6 months, it grew drastically. And I went a few months kind of being in denial, like, oh no, this is plagiarism. No, 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 no. And then just seeing how you maneuvered in and worked with it and used it more so as a tool, not your source, but again, a tool as we stress. It was like, oh, okay, well, let me play with it a little bit. And of course, I'm intrigued by it. Yes, a year. A year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I'll just be on the back burner here sitting and watching everyone as they come online with its use case and whatever their life is. Now,
Mhm.
I'll tell you, I got a text message this morning from Jamie's cousin.
Okay.
And so, shout out to Logan. Logan, actually, we used to visit her every Christmas in Hawaii. And so she's in Kentucky now. And so she reached out to us and said, hey, have you guys used Iris AI? She said that's kind of like Chat GPT, but she's been finding, use cases around her home with it, such as she will take a picture of her fridge and then it will tell her based on what it sees in the fridge what she can create from it or what she can make
Get
from it.
out of here.
Yeah, yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah.
We
So,
have we have to entertain this one for a second.
well,
Yeah.
hold on now. I don't know how much entertainment we can do because if your fridge is like Carlos's, you
No, no,
can't
no,
make
no,
you
no, no.
can't make nothing from nothing.
Carlos, I was born and raised in the city of Detroit by a single parent household, my mother. You
Uh-huh.
were born and raised in Arkansas by your grandmother.
That's true.
We come from that vibe of whatever we have to eat is what we're going to eat, and
That's
that's what
right.
it's going to be.
All right, all right.
Therefore, you're telling me this tool could have helped my mother back in the day, your grandmother back in the day, where it's like, this child wants something to eat, and I got to make something. We're about to make some. There have been times where I sat down and ate something, and To this day, I can't tell you what exactly it was. It tasted good enough,
Silly.
but I
Hey man,
can't
don't do
tell
that
you
to
what
me. You got me
exactly.
laughing.
The dish doesn't have a name.
Listen, he's silly.
So
So
it could have been like AI, Iris AI.
yeah,
Do me a
Iris.
favor, Iris AI. Take a picture inside of my fridge and tell me what I can make my baby boy this evening.
Yeah, but just the fact that you even, compare your childhood to being able to take a picture and then have it to regurgitate to you what you can make from those tells me that you and I come from two different worlds. Because if you took a picture of my fridge back then, you would have had sliced Wonder Bread and ketchup, Heinz ketchup.
He at least had bologna. We at
No
least had,
bologna,
man,
no
no bologna.
bologna, no
Oh,
salami, no
that's
liverwurst, no none of that. You
you
just
had
had a
to,
ketchup sandwich.
I at least had bologna and cheese.
So, I'm just saying. I'm
Fried up
just
that
saying.
bologna and we were good to go.
Back then, we didn't even need a chat GPT or Iris. We already knew what you can make with what's in the fridge. Air sandwich.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't.
just,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm
I
just
don't.
saying.
No.
But just the fact of the use cases again, it really says something as we are beginning to use these in our everyday lives. I've told you once about how I was having an issue finding in my wife's car. She has a Range Rover,
Mhm.
and so I go under the hood because it was saying that it needed some fluid and some antifreeze. And so as I'm in there, I'm like, now I pull motors, transmissions, carburetors. I'm old school. And so, and when they had carburetors, now you guys know cars don't have carburetors anymore. And so as I'm there, I'm looking for where do I put this antifreeze, and I can't find it. So I take a picture and I ask Chat GPT, and Chat GPT tells me, oh, according to the image that you've shown me, then the diagram that's on that knob, that should be where it goes. But come on now. We're literally at the dawn of the capabilities of all of this technology. you
Mhm.
know and it's one, it's going to get better.
Mhm.
Two, it's going to get more accessible.
Mhm.
They have the glasses now. Meta has the Ray Bans that can pretty much do something similar. Then they have the lapel, the button that you can wear, on your shirt, and you can hold your hand out and you can do all the hand movements and gestures in front of it, and it'll do certain things. I mean, we are headed to me to a day where AI is just going to become second nature. And it's not as if it's far fetched because we already use Siri and we already use Google Meet. I mean,
Mhm.
not Google Meet.
Google
Um,
Maps.
no, Alexa. Alexa. I use Alexa for everything in the house. Alexa, turn the lights off. Alexa, turn the fan on. Alexa, everything. We go to a hotel now, and it's like, who's gonna get up and turn the fan on? Who's gonna turn the lights off? Alexa, where you at?
Are you sure you grew
So
up in Arkansas?
beg your pardon?
Are you sure you grew up in Arkansas?
If you don't cut it out. I'm just saying. All right, so and what's this new AI
Okay.
automation tool that's blowing everyone's mind?
All right, motion brush. Let me show you. Okay, so there's a screenshot, but let me show you what really just captured my attention on this.
Okay.
All right, let's go there. Let's go. Look at this, is just cool to me.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Where are you oohing?
I don't, this is new to me. Our man behind the scenes, Marco, he's not familiar with it. Motion brush. I mean,
So
look at
this is, what's the name of it again?
motion brush. Let's pull it.
Motion brush.
Yeah.
It's motion brush, but is it a tool inside of a actual app?
I believe so. Let's go back to the website. Let's check it out.
It is. Is it inside of Runway?
All right. More AI tools are popping up to advance features of the popular generators that are already available. And the latest one is blowing people's minds. Hello. One AI research company, Runway, has recently introduced the second generation of its motion brush tool, which helps animate aspects of AI-generated images, such as those created in Mid-Journey.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So there are a number of tools that are doing something similar, if not the same thing. I mean, you got to remember, Josh, it's not like these are one-off tools. These, I mean, you literally have thousands of tools, and they do similar, if not the same things at times. So Adobe has somewhat similar tools inside of Firefly and Photoshop. I was actually just using in one of the logos I created not too long ago. I used a element inside of Photoshop to where I highlighted a piece and I was able to change the whole garb on the individual from a regular collared shirt to just a simple t-shirt. So, these tools, again, I say this is the worst that they will ever be. They only get better day by day by day, which is why we have to stay on top of them.
Reminder, these are the prototypes.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Absolutely they are. Hey, so why don't we go ahead and let AI Amber bring us up to date with what she believes is happening in the tech world.
All right.
Tech news this week was probably, if not, no, definitely the wildest week in tech. Let's start with OpenAI, the biggest tech news, of course. And what I thought would be interesting, as I'm sure so many of you are already familiar with a lot of the bits and pieces from the news with OpenAI, is to give you a full timeline, a full breakdown. Because I don't know about you, but for me, I felt like every day something new was coming up. I kept on hearing different things. So let's take this step by step, starting with November 16th. According to a post from one of the co-founder, Greg Brockman, he mentioned in his post, which was on Friday, that Thursday night, Sam got a text Thursday evening about a scheduled Friday noon call. This was the call where the news broke. Fast forward to Friday, right after the meeting, another big news broke, which was Brockman announced that he is going to be quitting OpenAI as well. They're letting Sam go. He's not staying as well. So now we've lost Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, all to OpenAI in a matter of 24 hours. Now, as a side note, a lot of people are speculating, why did Sam get let go in the first place? This was the board's decision, and I don't really want to share one speculation or another because there is no 100% answer at this point, and I don't want to spread false information, but there are a lot of skeptics saying it was because of some different practices going on that he was partaking in. Some employees were saying that it was because, I don't know, let's just say it was because of the board for now. I don't want to get into all that. Now, still on Friday, Sam Altman tweeted this: "I loved my time at OpenAI. It was transformative for me personally and hopefully the world a little bit. Most of all, I loved working with such talented people." Okay, so he's announcing it. Very classy announcement, I must say. Then let's scroll to November 18th, which is a Saturday. So I guess 24 hours since he was let go. He tweeted, "Today was a weird experience in many ways, but one unexpected one is it's kind of been like reading your own eulogy while you're still alive. The outpouring of love is awesome." So at this point, OpenAI employees were furious. Over 500 out of the 700 employees were threatening to quit. And I don't even think it was really threatening. I think it was they are going to quit if Sam didn't come back. It was there's so much tension in the air. And it was around this time, though, that Altman actually agreed to go on to, Sunday night, Altman agreed to go on work for Microsoft. Now, with him going to work for Microsoft, Greg as well said he would join Microsoft too. So Microsoft at this point is thinking, this is amazing, this is great. They're loving it. Now, I remember waking up Tuesday morning and looking at the news and thinking, this can't be right. This is old news. Sam Altman returns as CEO to OpenAI. Something I thought would happen. I mean, we see this as so many incredible tech founders of companies, from Steve Jobs, Jack Dorsey, the list goes, Steve over there. But the list goes on. But I thought it would take a few years. I didn't think he would return this quickly, but this really shows the power of community, employees really, really rooting for you and coming together. If it wasn't for OpenAI employees threatening to quit at such a mass scale, I don't think he would have been back this quickly. He tweeted, or OpenAI tweeted, they have reached an agreement in principle with Sam Altman to return as CEO for OpenAI. And also, too, I'm sure Sam had so much leverage in that meeting. The board did a 180 as well for a lot of their members. So new boards include Brett Taylor as a chair, Larry Summers, and Adam D'Angelo. What a wild, under a full week for OpenAI. And I think it's just going to get wilder, to be honest. I think this is the beginning. Imagine Sam in that room, the negotiating power he had to get back with OpenAI at this point. They knew they needed him back. Everyone was threatening to quit. He has a lot of power in his hands right now. Most importantly, though, I think this is going to make for an excellent movie one day. All right, next up, another big thing that happened in tech this past week, which kind of, well, definitely was overshadowed by everything with OpenAI, is going back to the world of crypto. We haven't spoken about crypto for a while. I feel like it's kind of fallen into the shadows, but there's still some really hardcore crypto lovers. This I found really interesting. Binance and CEO CZ, I think I'm saying that right? CZ, pled guilty to federal charges and agreed to pay $4.3 billion in fines. So where did things go wrong for him? CZ pled guilty to multiple charges, and the crypto exchange admits it engaged in anti-money laundering, unlicensed money transmitting, and sanctioned violations. That doesn't sound too good. And then I think this is really interesting here. One of the attorneys states this: the message here should be clear. Using new technology to break the law does not make you a disruptor, it makes you a criminal. And that kind of sums it up. $4.3 billion. Does he even have to pay that? That feels like you'd just be working your entire life to pay that off. I don't know. What do you think? It's really interesting. They say here that the crypto exchange company collected $1.35 billion in trading fees from U.S. customers, according to the chairman of the CFTC. Now, to me, this is just wild. When you think of how quickly crypto rose to the top, everyone was all about it. You know, these companies are making so much money, and we've seen the rise and the very hard fall of some other people in this industry. This is the latest victim to, no, not victim, that's the wrong word, latest person, I should say, to crumble because of it. Actually, on that note, I'm curious, are you still in crypto, blockchain world? Like, what are your thoughts around that? Last thing I want to cover with you today is not necessarily tech or trending tech news, but something that has been in the tech news this past week, which is this new cool tool called PL Drop. And I've been tinkering around with it. I'll share some videos that I put together for it on screen here. But essentially what it is, listen to this. Listen how wild this is. You can draw something. So a calculator, in my case, I drew a snake game, or a URL shortener. Literally just sketch it in their notepad. What this will do, you put in your OpenAI key, you select the image you just drew, generate, it will generate full functioning code of what you just drew. I was mind blown. I was like, there's no way this is possible. It is possible. It is here. This is the direction we are moving in. It really blew me away. For example, in the snake one, I drew a snake game. I put in here, you gotta be specific, and a little bit actually, the programmers, the way they made it is you actually have to be a bit cheeky with it. So you have to really encourage the AI that it's a good coder, it has good skills. Ridiculous, but kind of funny. And once you do that, you highlight the game that you just drew for whatever, full functioning website, and it will output the code for you. And this is really wild. I think this is the beginning of seeing how transformative AI will really take software development. It's not going anywhere, but it definitely is changing at a very quick pace. These technologies right now are great for little games, tinkering around, starting a side project, but this is the worst technology will ever be. And I always remind myself of that. When you really think this is the worst this tech will be, it's going to continue to improve, get smarter, faster, better. And it did so quickly. It's pretty mind-blowing.
I believe we just saw firsthand another example of how far this technology has already come.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking of the last time we had to ask AI Amber to step in. Good job. It was a good job last time around, but what I just watched right now was on a whole nother level.
That's right. You know why?
You can do it!
right? I mean, come on.
Uh,
So everybody knows, Amber is actually taking care of other things today.
yeah,
You guys may not know, but Amber is a realtor.
right on.
Somewhere I want to say in her former life, she is, and so today was closing for her, and so she wasn't able to do the recording for today's episode, and so I said, no worries, no worries. We'll just use AI Amber. Well, so with her permission,
Yeah.
we were able to again take the clone of her voice that we used from months ago, as well as a face image of her, and create in less than 20 minutes. I think I did it.
You created
Uh,
that in roughly
less
20 minutes.
about 20 minutes. Takes about 20 minutes for the whole thing to render. It was about 10 minutes long, and there were parts of it I had to cut out. But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, it's definitely it's come a long ways since we initially did the AI Amber. So shout out again. Name of the program, in case you'd like to know, it's called Swap Face. Swap, SWAPFACE, Swap Face. And it's only PC based right now. So you have to download it to a PC to be able to use it. You can't use it on a Mac device as of now.
Okay.
So just so you guys know, but by far, it's definitely the type of technologies you want to become more familiar with, just for things like that. So how many times maybe you are the guy that's in charge of the marketing, the creative, or whatever for the small business, and the CEO who hates to do recordings says, well, I don't want to do the upcoming whatever speech. Can't you just AI me? Yes,
Mm.
I can. Yes, I can. I can literally go to your social media feeds if you have them. If you don't, then come in. Let me take a picture. Take a picture. Let me get some recordings of you talking. And within maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I can create the facial and the voice clone so that we can make a clone of you to say and do whatever we need to. So, in their end, too, as I say that, is somewhat of the issue of security around all this. We're heading to the home stretch of the 24 election, and you're starting to see a lot of these tools being used to kind of sway the opinion of the masses. Some people are gun ho, they don't question anything. I saw some videos the other day with Joe Rogan doing the actual voiceovers. And I thought to myself, Joe Rogan would never do that. Joe Rogan would not do that. I know he does a lot of things, but he wouldn't say and do that. And so you just have to be in a state at all times to question everything. I got in the mail just yesterday where there was a breach at my the doctor's office I went to. And so they send me out this letter, and it's explaining to me what happened and when the incident occurred and what I can do in order to protect my identity. There was a time when I didn't care if you got my identity. I just want to keep it honest. I didn't care. But now I lock everything down. I got True Lock, I got Life Lock Alert. I got it. You name it, I got it. Because I don't want anybody to have access to. I won't say it that way. Everybody has access to your information.
But
Everybody.
you don't want anyone to be able to take your information, to be able to use your information.
That part. I don't
Yes.
want anybody to use my information without permission.
Exactly. I
So
mean,
I set up those locks.
I'll give you an example. I won't say which bureau, but I have one of my bureaus locked at all times because unless you have all three bureaus unlocked, your credit cannot be pulled. It will most of the time.
So it depends though, Josh.
Huh?
It depends. It depends on what bureau whoever the entity is pulling from. So some may like to pull just from Equifax. Some just may like TransUnion. If they pull from TransUnion, you have it unlocked. It doesn't matter if you locked Experian. So that's why I lock all three. Not only do I lock all three, but I also put credit freezes on those intelligence and those bureaus that are outside of the main three, so that if anybody does X, Y, and Z, they won't have access to my credit information, or they won't be able to use it. They'll have access. They can get access, but they won't be able to use it. And if they do use it, I get notification. All right. All right. So coming up, we are going to have Josh.
Yes, Ashley Williams. She is the founder of the online company Razar. It's a way of connecting businesses and consumers together. She's big on networking in the digital world. So we're going to learn more about what her company is about, how she is connecting folks on her digital platform, and be enlightened.
All right. Well, everybody, Ashley Williams.
Yes. Ashley, good afternoon.
Hi. What an applause. That was so nice. And I'm happy to join you while I was out a little bit. It took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I'm so excited to be here. And thank you all for having me. I was enjoying your conversation. Really interesting.
Oh, well, thank you for joining the conversation.
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Oh, sorry?
She has to be the first person to ever come on here that really looks like her picture.
No catfishing.
Listen, so the young lady we have in studio over here said, "Is that really her?"
I'm like, y'all didn't AI her. That's not right.
Oh,
you better not.
I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah, no. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is. It's just
thank you. Yeah, that was so sweet. Then, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so I would like to know, what is Razar?
Yeah, definitely. That was funny. Do a good thing. No, it's funny though with her comment, because she was like, "Well, she does look like her." That's kind of funny. Yeah. So Razar is a marketplace where we vet and match content creators with brands, and they produce user-generated content for brands. Kind of what you were focusing on with AI. We're creating technology to analyze and filter content for certain criteria, so that it's purpose-driven, and we say that really intentionally. Things like around the empathy, the tone, the call to action. And really helping brands to be more conscientious in what it is that they're producing for consumers, and how that they're going about being more purpose-driven in our world, and really holding them accountable to doing so.
Ashley, I want to bring up something right here. This is on your website. I mean, there's a lot to digest on your website, Razar, but this really captured my attention. Escape average, and you have a lot of images within this frame here. Break this down for me and the message behind it.
Yeah, definitely. So part of the idea around Razar, and although we're in the process of building Razar 2.0, which I'm excited about, but this idea of being able to show individuals who come to our platform or brands the types of content that our creators are making. And one of our creators likes to do videos around different topics around like really personal development and becoming your best self. And one of the videos, I really like this one in particular, was around like escaping, not just doing what you should be doing all the time, or like what is maintaining the status quo, but really breaking through. And so this is a video that he does a voiceover for, and then creates content and like really like cartoon content around it. So it's really, really interesting to get a perspective on. Yeah.
Ashley, with your based on your perspective, what would you say is some of the coolest tech trending right now?
I think things dealing with having, although I think, okay, so firstly, things dealing with visual imagery. I think that's really a huge thing right now. But at the same time, it's finding a balance between that. A lot of AI technology is able to create visual content in a really compelling way, or bring it more to light even further for brands. But there's also this other side of it where brands really want to make sure that it's authentic and really relatable, and in a way that's also resonant with their own brand, so that it's not like something that's being, similar to something else that's already being created. So I think right now that is huge. And I also think just like content creation period is really big right now. Everyone's trying to figure out how to break into being a content creator or content creation. And I feel like with first starting the company, I already had like a vision for this idea of content creation or content creators, even before the word became known further, or like there was actually a word for it. I just called them contributors. But I think there's this idea now around really people taking the gig economy to a whole other level through owning their brand, monetizing their brand, figuring out other ways of monetizing their brand. And it's something that I really believe we're just at the very start of. It's just the precipice of it.
Yeah.
A little bit of a follow-up, Ashley. If there was one gadget you would invest in for the folks who are checking us out right now, what would it be?
I would say a really good, well, it's hard to, okay, I was going to say a really good camera, but I also think, because, so for example, like I'm on my iPhone right now and it's really clear, so I think iPhones have been, done a phenomenal job. So I would say probably lighting. Really good lighting, like even like the flow lights, like if someone is really taking it seriously with doing a podcast or something, like having good lighting around, like you both have really good lighting around you right now, but like having that be
Are
at
you
the
talking about the
cornerstone,
light
I
on
think
my
is the nice.
forehead? Are
Yeah,
you
I mean, even still, like you guys, both of your setups are really good. I have like a little shadow over my face.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. All right. I'm gonna work on that lighting.
Makeup.
All right. So here. So how long have you guys been around?
Yeah, so we're in our 8th year now. I would say the first 3
Wow.
years were a deer in headlights, really. And really just last year, right around this time, we got our first investment with Comcast and BC, which has really helped just like take the company in a whole other, I would say, trajectory of where we're aiming to go. And then soon enough, we'll be fundraising for our seed round and really, so all those things. But I really feel like all that time, because so much has changed in the industry. And I really think now it's not like solidified per se, but I feel like we have a better grasp on what we're intending to create. So it's definitely been a journey for sure.
Do you think that the pandemic helped to help you guys to be able to resolve the whole industry as a whole? Because, and the reason I asked that is because one of the first feelings that I had here in the city of Detroit was that the creators weren't always a part of the conversations. I would go to meetings with the labor departments and other government entities, and we would be trying to figure out how to get jobs for everyone but the creators. The creators were never really part of those conversations. So when I would say, I want to do a digital marketing program, they're like, well, how are you going to get them jobs? So now it seems though, after the pandemic and the whole gig economy becoming a thing, now there's some recognition around the fact that creators do contribute a lot to the industries as a whole. And how do we actually quantify them within the numbers?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely. And I think because beforehand it was like it was hard to say there was a need for them per se. I mean, even though people and brands would say they wanted authentic content, but I think the pandemic only like heightened that need further because first off, everybody being isolated and only so many production shoots or all that, regarding, and then also people wanting content that really was authentic to the situation at hand. So I think you're absolutely right. It did. And I felt like once that happened, from what I had been saying, it was like investors, everybody started to understand the unique, I don't want to say uniqueness, but the possibilities of it,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So and here's something I'm dealing with myself. So I'm just going to ask you because you seem to be the professional in the room right now, not Josh and I, right?
I don't know.
So
I'm trying.
I have an
Only
issue.
as I go.
I have an issue going on with a lot of the marketing campaigns for our institution, right? And I don't know if necessarily you are the person to ask this, but I want to try to have you take a gander at it, okay? So the issue is that I remember when I could run ads, Facebook, Instagram, Google AdWords, and all of these things, and I could get a nice return. Say if I spend, hypothetically, say I spend $5,000 in a week, then I could possibly get so many great quality leads from it, right? Nowadays, when I run these ad campaigns for $5,000 in a week, I'm getting straight garbage. And when I say straight garbage, I mean that there are more bots than anything. So am I the only creator or the only creative that is experiencing this, specifically as a business owner, as I'm trying to grow using a lot of these online platforms?
Yeah, absolutely not. I think, everything has become so much more convoluted. And it's really hard to, okay, firstly, everything that was done before is like changing so much more where people are really having a hard time of figuring out because everything is really online. So it's like more than ever before. So people are really trying to figure out, if everything is online, what are the keywords or things that I need to say in order to make that market reach that I'm looking for. But the problem is that now that everybody really is online, everything has gotten even more convoluted than it was before, which means that the noise is even more heightened, which also means that all that, like you're saying, with the bots or other things that people are trying to use in order to cut through the noise, which is why so many organizations now or businesses are leaning on turning to content creators more within their own audiences, nano influencers, micro influencers, but not like the mega influencers, because they've also have not seen more because of all the noise as well. There's not a lot of return there either anymore. So it's a segment of groups between, I would say, like 1,000, even up to like 50,000, something, even 100,000 possibly. I mean, that's more mega, but because their audiences are so niche, right? And they're able to speak and articulate to their audiences in a further way that is really compelling outside of the advertising, which is just showcasing, filtering. So I really think over the next couple of years, things are going to shift more into businesses even going more into the followings of these content creators and not going to the ones with the large followings. It's going to be go into the favor of those who really have niche audiences that are even not as like small, but unique, so that it's more powerful.
Oh wow, great answer. You can.
Yes, Ashley, you can do it. Excellent answer. My sister, how do we balance tech and privacy? I mean, we were talking a moment ago about not making sure our information can be used without our permission. How do you balance the growing tech along with the need for privacy?
Yeah, that is a tough one.
It's hard.
I think that from what I have seen within technology being created now from other entrepreneurs that I've come across, I think what's going to also happen eventually, and I'm just, we'll see what actually happens, but from this perspective, is that there's going to be more people who are they're going to want to opt in more to what it is that they share. And I think it's already happening, but I feel like people are really going to be much more gun-ho around what it is that they're allowing people to have access to. That's why, like with the cookies, right? The cookies are all now like going away soon because people are getting irritated that all this access of information that they somehow agreed to allowing these companies to be able to have, they now can track like their every move. I think there's going to be more of a movement around people saying, no, I don't want you to have my information. No, I want to be able to tell you what information that you will have. And I think they're really going to hold institutions much more accountable to that. And I think it's going to be probably some upheaval around it, because I think over time, especially with like the next generation of Gen Zers who are even more like, around this idea of privacy and everything, I really feel like there's going to be a lot more upheaval around it, and people are really going to be more vocal to have it changed.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Oh, I mean, she answered the question again in a very great way. You put it on me, Karlos. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Thank you.
You have an intelligent sister on here breaking it down for us. Don't put it back. Put it on her.
Listen. Ashley, how long?
You're
So
sweet.
the company's been
first you started with the image, now that's so sweet.
right. So in the grand scheme of things, where do you see you guys being able to develop this to? Where's it headed?
Well, I really am humbled and thankful for the opportunity to be the, I guess, vessel of this, and my team for us to be the vessel of putting this out in the world. But we're already seeing a global reach. Like, we have creators from all over the world. And so now it's really just getting more tactful with the automation of the platform, so that we can serve brands of all industries, of all sizes, and all content creators at any time during the day, or any point in the of what they need, and as well as their content needs overall. So like, not just for brands, but also consumers. So there's like doctors, dentists, account create more content. So eventually we really want to be able to serve every individual or business that needs content, and helping them to create purpose-driven content. So it just means creating our technology more efficiently and in a more automated way.
Okay. So how do I get connected if I'm a content creator and I want to be on the platform?
Yeah, well, the first thing is you make an account on the site. And right now we're in the process, like I said, of building Rosar 2.0. So we're really going through more more detailed information of the creators. So first, just make an account. We're reaching out to our creator. We have like over 6,000 content creators now, and we're really trying to. We need to do a lot more automation, but our group of individuals are really trying to understand who these creators are and to really break down further information so that as we bring more brands on as customers, we can also have it be even more targeted towards the creators that they're looking for.
That's what I'm talking. Can we please give her a round of applause?
Give the creators jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You're so sweet. I love both of you guys. You're so sweet.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Creators are my community. And I was just telling somebody the other day, just because you have a skill set and you don't tap into it for a while doesn't mean you lose it. It transcends from whatever the area is. Like there was a time in my life when I was writing novels and then I wanted to be a rapper and I created beats and music. And now I do business. I still use that same creative juice, if you will, in some of the business development that I do. So it doesn't, it doesn't die. It just goes from one version to another to another. And I think that the more that we have individuals like you that's able to corral us as creators, the better off the community is as a whole. Because, it takes the ecosystem in order to make it all work. It can't just be Josh and Karlos because we still are kind of like stumbling through the dark.
No, you guys are great. You have a great podcast. I think what you all are doing is phenomenal.
Yeah, more Josh than me.
Oh man, no. It's a team effort, brother, because we already know I'm learning as I go. Here's a random question, Ashley. Yeah. I love to go to the gym. I'm a gym rat. How is tech playing a role in fitness? Kind of a curveball.
Well, there's so much happening. I just connected with a company that's really trying to help with like the process of like brands connecting. If there's something about like brands as you're working out, like there's like there's gamification going on with brands so that they can entice you with like coupons or things that you're working on as you're getting to your different tiers of points of goals that you have. I mean, that's like there's something else with the AI part of it all. But anyways, I think what's going to happen is that, and I mean, I'm still, like I said, I'm high level at this, so I'm not really sure, but I think everything is just going to get more granular. Everybody's interested in data right now. Data is, the thing, but having data ownership where people are really much more specific around who they allow that data ownership to. So if there are brands that, as you're working out, like if you're reaching a certain milestone, they can, entice you with something or like market something to you that could help you with your workout or your goals or something like that, I think is really going to be key. But I also think just like more things related to like simulators, like with golf simulators or like things that are more like if you are not actually there, I think that's going to go to a whole other level too from what we've already seen. It's just going to get even more compelling and more integrated into the personal development of a person compared to you just going to a simulator, but it's really helping you even further with your golf game or whatever game that you're working on,
So I hear you talk about data ownership. Does that mean that you are still on the blockchain or you are a blockchain enthusiast? Or do you think that there's still a long way to go with the whole aspect of blockchain?
Yeah, that's one that I'm still actually not really familiar with. I'm going to be honest, I'm really upfront. But I think it's at the beginning of that too. But I think because of other things with NFTs and other, it's like I feel like it's a whole other dynamic that still needs to be evolved more for more people to get involved with it, because it's like it's such a used word that I feel like people don't know what they're saying when they're I feel like because it's overly, I think with AI at least people are understanding more even though it is used, but like with Chat GPT or like other things like that have made it more realistic of understanding, but with blockchain it's still such a foreign thing for many people, I feel like.
Okay. So are you a creative purist, or do you believe that the AI invention actually helps to propel your creativity? When I say an AI creative purist, I mean that I hear so many times from creatives that they're totally against this whole AI thing. You know, the AI is writing my books now. So what happens to me as an author? The AI is creating images now. So what happens to me as an artist? So where do you fall in the grand scheme of the AI debate?
I do like AI. I don't like it to replace a person though, or to replace things in general. I think there's a way that it can be used to enhance, but not to replace. And so I'm really for enhancing. I'm really for refining. But because I feel like there's always going to be a need for like that human component of someone being able to bring their creativity to the table. And I think that is what makes the world so unique, right? Like, I mean, if everything was a robot, like, it's like, what's the point, you know? And like, we all have so many, I mean, even our DNA is so unique, right? So, I mean, it's like not the same. So I'm really for it being enhanced. I don't like it to be used to fully replace things. I'm totally against that.
Do not allow my confidence to offend your insecurity.
Love that quote.
Yeah.
Again,
Yes.
it's a tool, not the main source.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you can't take away from the fact that humans will all, for right now, I'll say right now, will always be needed. You know,
Yes.
we like I say, even though we get all these bots in on these ad campaigns that we use, at the end of the day, a human still, when that lead comes in, has to make that connection with the other human to have them go through whatever the process is. And a lot of times we simply want this magical, mystical thing that really doesn't happen. And I think that's kind of where we got away from over the last 5 to 10 years within the creative space. I can remember back in 2011, 2012, when you could post something on Facebook and reach everybody that was following you. You know, nowadays, you're lucky if you have 100,000 people that follow you, you're lucky if you get 10 of them that actually see your content.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so again, there's a lot of noise, but at the same time, I think we still need to be ever advantageous about having people to connect with people. I think that's where we win. And I think that's kind of what you're telling us, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because I feel like at the end of the day, the creativity is what fuels all of that. Like the creativity, the inspiration, like those are all like just these, you know, beautiful gems, soulful gems that we need to evolve, you know, to become the best versions of ourselves. And so anything that's outside of that, that is to replace that is like, you know, I just feel like it's going to be harder for an individual to really market themselves as being who they are and what their voice, you know, that resonance with their voice and who they are.
I really wish that you could be beside me.
Listen, I want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking out time to come and have this discussion with us. I definitely would love to have you come back sometime. You see, I don't know why, and I'm just going to say it because Josh, you know I always say stuff like this, but I feel like it's almost kind of like talking to my therapist.
Let's break it down in a very smooth way. What in the world? Just what? Are we okay?
We're still here.
We're still here.
We're still here. Okay.
Yes.
We're still here. What in the world
okay.
is going on?
The show
Oh
is
my
still
gosh, that was
going on.
The show must still go on. Oh
It's
my
okay.
goodness.
Listen. I am still here.
Hey,
Don't worry
Marco,
about that.
put
Don't
that.
worry about that.
It's
Oh my God.
Put that, Marco.
We just
good.
had a cataclysmic reaction to the
We
fact
witnessed
that I said something about my therapist. So
I
we're not
love
going to
it.
worry about that. Again, I'd like to say thank you for taking our time for coming back.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
I'm
I love it. It
hoping-
was a great session for me too. So
come
I felt like
back.
it was
She
cathartic
come
in
back.
all ways. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I was just told that you can come back.
Yes.
The
Thank
lady in the
you. Thank
studio
you so much
said
for
that you can
having me.
actually
I
come
loved
back.
your questions and I
Yes.
love your show. I'm humbled to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us,
Absolutely.
Ashley. And as Carlos mentioned,
From the
yes,
car.
we'd love to have you back on. Love to.
Thank you.
Love
I
it.
loved
Alright.
you.
All right, beautiful, beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, real quick before we let you go, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Ash and Will. And as the creator of a content creation company. I will be creating a lot more content upcoming the next couple of months and moving forward into the new year. So definitely Ash M. Will, and also on just Ashley M. Williams, just online. Yep, you can find me pretty much anywhere on there.
Cool. Cool.
All right. Great day, Ashley. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You all take care.
Bizarre.
Bye.
Hey, listen, I don't know what happened.
Today was a good day for me to go virtual. Everything happens for a reason, Carlos.
I don't know what just happened, but I hope that it's okay.
It's okay.
I see that we are still streaming, so
yeah. Do we wrap it up here, or do we keep going?
No. We are going to be having our YDSDT here in a moment, but why don't we go ahead and take a commercial break and come back to it
Pay some bills.
right after the commercial.
And as a student, I understand how procrastination and laziness can hold you back. However, I also know the importance of taking action and pushing yourself to achieve greatness. That's why I urge you to take action now. Enroll in DSDT. We got hands-on experience, so don't let laziness hold you back from achieving your dreams. So take the first step and enroll in DSDT today.
Looking to start a rewarding career in the healthcare industry? Look no further than DSDT's Medical Assistant Diploma program. Our program offers hands-on training in a real-world setting so that you can learn the skills needed to succeed. In the span of only 9.5 months, you'll receive top-notch instruction from experienced healthcare professionals, giving you the confidence you need to excel in such a high-demand industry. So why wait? Invest in your future today and enroll in DSDT's Medical Assistant Diploma program. You can do it!
You can do it, indeed. I hope I don't have to do it by myself because I don't know where Carlos went. They're having quite the time over in the studio today. I just by chance needed to go virtual today, and I missed out on all of what's going on right now.
It's kind of those you had to be here type of moments.
Oh yeah, we saw enough of it. We saw enough. Ashley and I definitely saw enough. So yeah, is Carlos still in there? He's around.
Pull some cords.
I bet you he's under the table right now pulling on cords. I bet you.
He's
doing what?
Pulling cords.
Underneath the table, pulling on cords, trying to figure out whatever's going on.
Doesn't feel like I'm gonna be able to figure it out no time soon. So why don't we just go ahead and bring on our student alum in 2017, I believe she was. Mm-hmm. And she also worked for us a short while before the pandemic. As a matter of fact, the day that the pandemic struck DSDT and everyone had to go virtual, she was here with us. And so I wanted to have her come on and have a conversation about why DSDT. So why don't we go ahead and welcome, and I know this is going to be a little bit of a different angle, but you guys bear with us. You get the gist of it.
Yeah.
We will be having Miss Jacqueline Austin to come to the stage. Jacqueline, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hi, everybody, DSTC.
Jacqueline, how are you?
I'm great.
All right. So, yes, you have quite the history with DSDT. Carlos just gave us a nice background on you. Tell us what have you been up to lately?
What I've been up to lately is right after or during the pandemic, after graduation, working here at the school. I've acquired some projects in Georgia, I believe. After that, working virtually. I still did projects here in Detroit. I still do virtually, but I just, help and assist them with content, just getting an idea where they want to go. And basically, the young lady prior to me just kind of iterated everything, that you needed and what you needed. But then the biggest thing for me was being a person, an individual of a certain type of age to even want to do it. I always wanted to do technology, but it's just when you get a certain age, people don't understand or want to know why, or you're a little old. That stuff might be too much for you. You sure you want to do it? That type of thing. So DSDT, through a nonprofit, they kind of catapulted me in here to take advantage of the program at the time. And it's just been a great opportunity for me. These are my humble beginnings. I love this place. I was that student in the commercial, I guess, if you ever seen it, where it's time for graduation and they're trying to pull you from the table and you don't want to leave. They could have put me in.
No.
Right. Yeah. So
okay, so what would be your advice to someone who is younger, older, trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, trying to take a different pathway, trying to pivot? Someone who's unsure, but maybe has a slight interest in tech because tech is growing. Therefore, you may have someone who's inquisitive, but not quite sure on what to do in their approach. What's your advice?
My advice would be to at least start. You're already using mobile apps, devices, games. You're already incorporating yourself into these entities. I think the pandemic pretty much showed everybody and basically helped you reinvent the wheel. And you can do that. It's cliche-ish. You can do that. And then on top of the job market, you can iterate. I know companies, from one company that I know of, Caterpillar, for instance, they incorporate that if you're taking welding, they right out of high school, they'll help you, guarantee you a job. And you can do, it's tech. You can do tech. You have tech opportunities with the company. So companies are basically reinventing everything. This is how they get employment opportunities. You now see digital campaigns where you anywhere in downtown Detroit, they have they'll showcase events happening, goings-ons happening in Detroit, in schools. Like it's like I did a short little video here with the school, and it was part I am DSDT. So I love that. And the fact is, I told Carlos, just go ahead and use commercial anytime you get ready. I don't care. I need more haters because the old ones are starting to love me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm 55 years old. I probably don't look it sometimes, but at an age and where you have visual learners, individuals that are, the deaf community, this can all but help those communicate more to let's say your doctor, you can't make it, you just can't get out, you have a caregiver, and this technology would help nurses. I noticed that they have a medical program here. I saw a nurse basically ordering the person's chart and everything right there in a person's home. So it's like this stuff is needed. I don't know where we would be without it. It's kind of advancing itself pretty much, but at least start. And if you're already doing it, you already have, you're halfway there to just finish. And that would be, my advice. And then on top of that, you start the nonprofit that assisted me and helped me was Operation Able of Michigan. I came here and I was like, oh, well, I don't know. They might be. So, I'm a little older. I'm probably the aunt in the class or something. But I loved it. I loved it, so yeah.
Right on. Well, Jacqueline, it's interesting enough. We're sitting here talking about technology and how it continues to grow in the modern world. But you just gave an old school philosophy. At least try.
What would it hurt? I mean, you have to crawl before you walk. Is that how I go?
Amen. That's exactly how it goes.
So yeah, that's pretty much. It's getting fixed.
Right on. You back, Karlos? Back in the building?
I'm somewhere in here.
All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, thank you, my sister. It was quite the pleasure to get your perspective.
Thank you so much. And anybody that's watching, you can do it online. So if you can't make it to the school, no excuse. Do it online. Grab a computer. Black Fridays are happening right now. Please don't tell me you can't do it. I'll have to drive up to your house and get you help you get the computer and drop you right off here to the school.
Well said. Right. Yes, you can definitely do it online as we're doing this podcast online.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ms. Austin. We really appreciate you taking out time to come with us.
I appreciate you guys.
And we look forward to having another conversation with you at another time. All right.
Yes, sir.
All
I am DSDT hashtag.
Karlos, another good one. Books. An eventful one towards the end here.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. Just the way I like it. Yes. Just the way I like it. I'm here though. In case you forgot, I'm here. I'm just trying to find out where I'm here on here. All right. So if you would go ahead and take us on home.
All right, you got it, brother. Again, another good episode in the books, season 9, episode 2. That's a wrap. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, that will do it for the Tech School podcast powered by DSDT. See ya.